Greetings and salutations, old friends, and hopefully a few new friends. Tonight I've got a wicked ride for you. And I've got the right shirt on. This is my psych ward shirt because I would have to be in a psych ward to continue to cover or even care about what's going on with David Wilcock. But recently, he jumped back on Twitter. Yeah. And so everybody knowing my past coverage of him are all sending me messages. Did you hear what he said? And I, of course, had to go look into this. So David Wilcock recently tweeted, I needed to take some time off in this very unusual online environment to decompress from 25 years of doing this and seeing everything come to a head in the midst of an extremely dangerous environment. Okay, so he's saying that his 25 years of prophetic accuracy is all coming to a head. But there's a huge problem with that. He doesn't have 25 years of prophetic accuracy. He has a prophetic accuracy rating of about 0 because I have covered this guy for a while. I have read his writings, looked into his history. I have never found a single solitary prophetic prediction that he made that came true. The truth is, every one of his predictions that I have found has been huge, dismal failures. You got to hand it to the guy, though. If you're going to be a fake new age guru psychic, right? And you want to really make it big, you got to swing, right? You got to swing for that home run and just hope to God that the ball and the bat connects and you will hit that home run making that prophetic prediction. So I give him credit for his ability to swing, right? But he strikes out, friends. Every single time David Wilcock steps up to the plate with another prophetic prediction of the future, what's going to happen, he strikes out. And he strikes out so miserably in all areas of conspiracy land. He has terribly, terribly been wrong. Now, I do have a list because I'm that kind of an asshole that I am here while David Wilcock is pretending he's taking a break because everything that he has predicted for the past 25 years is suddenly coming to a head. It's all going to come true. He's got hundreds, thousands of things he said would happen that never, ever happened. And one of the things I enjoy most and what I think makes David Wilcock my favorite UFO New Age guru fraudster is that he has no shame. Like a normal person, any normal person, I would assume, who comes out and says, I'm psychic, and then makes these bold, ridiculous claims of what's going to happen in the very near future. And then it gets proven that none of that shit happened. A normal person would have some shame, would try to explain at least why their predictions all failed so miserably. And David Wilcock somehow gets a pass. He makes these incredibly ridiculous predictions about what's going to happen in the very near future, always a little far back, a year or two back. Like in a year or two, this is going to happen. And then it doesn't. In the year 2000, this is going to happen. And none of that shit happened. In the year 2012, this is what's going to happen. That was another. 2000 and 2012 were big years for Mr. David lying through his fake teeth Wilcock. Because in both of those years, in the few years preceding those big event years, right? The turning of the millennium, the year 2000. What's going to happen? And then later, in 2012, he made an equally bunch of ridiculous, absolutely outlandish predictions about what would happen when 2012 came. And none of it happened again. And in both major instances of being completely and totally, absolutely wrong in everything that he said, he never explained why he was so wrong. He never apologized to all the people he was taking money from for this garbage hopium that he was shoveling down their throats and saying, buy my book the whole time, which to me is consumer fraud. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a law enforcement officer. But if you're selling people something and saying this is what's going to happen, and you take their money and then it doesn't happen, shouldn't you give the money back? I think so, Mr. Wilcock. I think you should give some of the money back. Now, we're going to get into a little bit more specifics, but this whole David Wilcock coming back to Twitter, by the way, he's been gone because he was completely and totally wrong in 2020 about everything that he said, and has been pushing the letter of the alphabet garbage conspiracy theory for 4 or so years, right? Since before Donald Trump got elected, right? He has been pushing and jamming that letter of the alphabet conspiracy garbage down his followers' throats, claiming he's getting briefings and secret intel about that letter of the alphabet. No, you weren't, you fucking liar. But let's be fair. But let's not be fair. Because again, he thinks he's going to get a pass. He's been pushing this letter of the alphabet garbage for 4 years. And now that it all falls apart and we find out it's all fake garbage, made up information, now he thinks he's going to get a pass. So just like when 2000 all his predictions failed, and just like in 2012 when all his ridiculous predictions failed, he's been taking a break, hoping we all forget his conspiracy land wacko garbage that he has been selling the public for cash for years. 4 years of this. Is he giving any of the money back? He's been taking he took a lot of super chat donations while he was talking about that letter of the alphabet garbage. Is he going to find each and every one of those super chat donators and give them their money back now that this all turns out to be garbage, fake information? Or is he going to keep all of that money that he made for sharing, analyzing, hyping up that letter of the alphabet conspiracy? I have been thinking about it's so ridiculous, absolutely so ridiculous, that this man can get away with this. And listen, the letter of the alphabet conspiracy is such stupid garbage. It's so stupid, so unbelievable. Only the most stupidest of people believe that any of that was real. It's so stupid, so unbelievable, so ridiculous, in fact, that even the king of conspiracy theory land, some would argue, but I think Alex Jones is the king of conspiracy theory land. Currently, right? Even he makes fun of that letter of the alphabet conspiracy, because even he, whatever disagreements I have with Alex Jones, at least he's intelligent enough, and so is any person intelligent enough to look at this letter of the alphabet garbage and recognize it as fake, made up garbage. But not David Wilcock, the man who once claimed he had a 180 IQ, was not smart enough to see that this was all bullshit, right? Even Alex Jones makes fun of it. And we're going to cite fair use and share Alex Jones' thoughts on that letter of the alphabet.
I love you, dude. I love you, but you gotta let me talk.
Highest level military intelligence. Tell me more about it.
Are you waiting for your turn to speak, sir? Are you listening?
Tell me about the highest level military intelligence.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. You're full of shit. I will not suffer your Q people after this. Because you're lying. You're full of shit. All of it, dude. And I'm sick of it. I'm not knocking people who are into Q. I'm just telling you. Oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. don't know, from some small part of the larger Q universe. We're now learning the secret of Q power. He is a Q priest, is a religion. Q told us that Hillary was in a prison. He's a well-meaning person, but he's a lightweight. Jake the Barbarian, I guess, was his earlier incantation or incarnation. We have Q on the line. Q shaman. Listen, you're a Q wizard. A Q shaman. You are a shamanic wizard. We get that. A Q shaman. Go ahead, Q shaman.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying! You're full of shit! I will not suffer your Q people after this. Because you're lying! You're full of shit! All of it, dude. And I'm sick of it. Q is like people that look at clouds. One sees a giraffe, one sees an elephant. I have the military intelligence. The almighty Q Lord, and you are his priest. I don't know if he's for real or whether he's higher than a kite. And it's always, oh, there's energy. So you got a bunch of Q-tards into the Capitol. Oh, Q told us that Trump was invincible. You said he was the Messiah. Trump's the regular guy. He's not Jesus Christ. They'll never, when they're wrong, say they're wrong. We have Q on the line. Q shaman. Listen, you're a Q wizard. A Q shaman. You are a shamanic wizard. We get that. A Q shaman. Really? No, you're full of crap.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. You're full of shit. I will not suffer your Q people after this. Because you're lying. You're full of shit. All of it, dude. And I'm sick of it.
What the fuck, bro?
So, yeah, that's what even Alex Jones thinks about that. And, you know, a lot of this David Wilcock losing over and over and over again, it really does. I have reflected. I have evolved, right? And gone from anger. You know, I used to be angry at this guy, but lately all I think emotionally when I think of David Wilcock is pity. I feel bad for this guy. How many times can you be wrong as a psychic before your whole life just devolves into the point of ridiculousness? And we have reached that here with David Wilcock. He has reached a point of absolute ridiculousness, of always being wrong about everything he talks about. Nothing he talks about ever happens. Nothing he talks about as far as aliens and all this other stuff ever proves to be factually accurate or verifiable, right? But every day, friends, he's got to wake up and go, I'm psychic. I have superpowers. I'm going to connect with the angels and the gods and tell people what's going to happen next year. But then it doesn't. And then he has to do it again and again. And it made me think about actually the amount of time that all of us probably spend in conspiracy land and whether that time is really well spent. After all, you know, our time on this earth really is finite. And some of these conspiracy theories are so ridiculous that I wonder how it's even a thing. Flat Earth being the first that always comes to mind. Like, really? People dedicate their lives to flat Earth theory? David Wilcock has dedicated his life to fringe alternative garbage. And that's truly the best term for it. It is garbage. There is no value to anything David Wilcock has talked about for the past 20 plus years. There's no value at all. He offers zero to his listeners, to his customers, to the world that he claims to be some kind of prophet in. Friend, we've talked about it before, that he claims to be Christian, and I am. There's something called the test of the prophet. And if you look it up, it basically says that if a prophet is wrong once, they're not a prophet of God. They're a false prophet. Once, David Wilcock, I have a list of some of your failed predictions. We're going to give David Wilcock the test of the prophet. And the test of the prophet, once again, is if they're wrong about any of their prophetic predictions, they are a false prophet and not from God. You can't have it both ways, David Wilcock. So smack the name Jesus out of your mouth. I wish there was someone, I don't wish any harm on you, but But when I hear the word Jesus come out of David Wilcock's mouth, or Christ-like consciousness, when he's claiming to be a prophet with a track record like this, I think in my mind of smacking the name of Jesus or Christ out of his mouth. Would never do that. But this righteous anger rises up in me as a Christian when I hear him use Jesus to sell his garbage, use Christ-like consciousness to sell his garbage. It angers me every time I hear him do that. David Wilcock, you know nothing of Christ or Christ consciousness. And you should never, ever sully the name of Jesus with your fake prophetic trash. That's what you offer the world. Fake prophetic trash. You can wrap it up in Jesus all you want. It has nothing to do with Jesus. You can wrap it up in love and light. It's not love and light stealing money from people for fake prophetic predictions that never come true. David Wilcock has spent his entire life doing this. And again, I feel sympathy and pity for this poor, has to be tortured soul by now. Because what does that got to do to you psychologically? Being wrong over and over again while trying to convince yourself and everyone else that you have some type of insight and psychic and superpowers and you can help people along their journey. And you fail so miserably each and every time you step up and try to hit that home run. What does he have to feel like every time he takes this huge hit, making these prophetic predictions? And conspiracy land, back to conspiracy land. There's so much garbage in conspiracy land, so many endless rabbit holes of nonsensory, fake information, hoaxers, fraud information. I don't know how anyone can actually make sense of conspiracy land, right? Or why anybody would want to dedicate their life to conspiracy land. So I guess I'm questioning my own interest and time spent in this wackadoo world that we're all in, right? I love a great mystery. Maybe I'll just start sticking to just great mysteries, not so much the conspiracy land nonsense. Because if you think about all of the different conspiracies, when you hear them in a more linear fashion, it becomes obvious to you that it's a waste of time. Sometimes, friends, it really is a waste of time. Some of these stories are a complete and total waste of time. But I have been both the benefactor of the ones I liked and the victim, I suppose, of the ones that were a total waste of time. But I still went down a lot of these rabbit holes. So we're trying something new tonight, which is the inclusion of a little bit more music into the show. And I want to welcome, we have two musical guests tonight. One of them is Tim Ireland singing his conspiracy song. And wait till you hear the name of the next musical artist. You won't believe me. You truly will not believe the name of the next musical guest. But for our first musical guest, we've got, I'm sorry, bear with me. Yeah, so we have Tim Ireland singing his conspiracy song. Didn't want to get that wrong. And again, hearing this today made me think of all that time spent in conspiracy land. And I guess David Wilcock is not the only one stuck in this shit. But lately, I've been thinking, I've been thinking a lot more about the time invested in this. And compared to David Wilcock, I'm a lightweight. I really am a lightweight, right? I believe that David Wilcock has dedicated everything to conspiracy land. And I'm not sure if I respect him for that or think he's an idiot, as I dedicate whatever portion of my time to the same, I suppose, wells of information. I'm sure we drink from many different wells. I don't drink from the same wells he does, for sure, for most of it. But I'm sure there's some crossover. But lately, I've been thinking about the little bit of time I spend in that jungle. And then again, going back to feeling sorry for him, I think about David Wilcock, whose full-time job, I suppose it is, to do this shit. And lately I've been thinking that David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. And that's the title of tonight's show. David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. Dude, you did 25 years. You were talking about taking a sabbatical. You need to take a lifelong sabbatical, bro. You were just saying that you've spent 25 years on this. And I don't know what value you've offered the world with your 25 years of these ridiculous prophetic claims, of your fake nonsense. But, I guess we're all trapped here in conspiracy land to a certain extent, some more than others, right? Like, I don't have to pay my mortgage payment out of conspiracy land dollars, right? I don't have to, the things that this man has to do, especially to cover his nut of, I don't know, is it 3 mansions now? There was recently some legal papers filed, and it turns out he's got a bunch more addresses, right? How many homes in how many different states do you need? I don't know. But imagine having to pay for like the upkeep of 3 homes, one way or the other, out of super chat donations and people buying your books full of fake predictions. When you've got a track record this bad, that has got to be a nerve-wracking state of existence to be in. You got to pay your mortgage out of this shit, bro, and you own what? $1 million mansions? How big is your mortgages, bro? How many super chats do you need? How many shitty books about dreams do you got to sell this month to crack that nut, bro? And he has delved in every part of conspiracy land. UFO stuff, ancient aliens, psychic shit, right? He's got to keep on producing something that he thinks people will buy. And I guess if we're to be believed, David Wilcock is one of the most well-paid of these UFO Connor New Age fraudsters. And that is quite amazing to me. Conspiracy land has so many different facets, and David Wilcock has been involved in many of them. But back, friends, really, what can I say? This is where we're at. This is where we've come to, both Wilcock and me, I suppose. I can't believe that this guy's got to try to pay all of his bills for multiple houses out of this. What do you do when you failed at every prediction? What do you say to people, right? What do you say to people when everything you've talked about in multiple different subjects and things has all been proven to be garbage and bullshit? What do you say to people? He never offers any explanation for why he's been so wrong, or so much of the stuff that he talks about has been proven to be completely and totally fake. He never explains himself. He gets a pass. No, I don't think so. David Wilcock should not get a pass for being so wrong and for taking people's money for so long, for such garbage, fake information, and failed predictions. He should not be able to keep taking people's money for this obviously incredibly flawed product that he's offering the world. He's been involved in lots of different things in conspiracy land, which reminds me back to our musical guest tonight, Tim Ireland, singing his conspiracy song. Let's get to that, friends.
The Pope is a lizard, and so is the Queen, who murdered Diana and got away clean. Obama's a Kenyan, and Reagan caused AIDS. George Bush had abortions, or so people say. They knocked Norma Jean off, they killed JFK, who got shot and poisoned by the CIA. They faked the moon landings, but Roswell was real. There's drugs in the water and worms in our meals. They can't hide the chemtrails. We can't trust vaccines. We all know that jet fuel can melt through steel beams. And the New World Order will brainwash your kids and use MK Ultra to hide what they do.
So, yeah, sometimes I'm reminded of how ridiculous conspiracy land really is. But I mentioned I had a list of David Wilcock's failed predictions because I really think, well, friends, what I really think is that David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy land wacko shit. It's the title of tonight's show, and that's just how I've been feeling. You've had a nice run, bro. It's time to do something more meaningful with your life. It's time to do something that matters and get out of this shithole. You've earned it, right? You've earned millions of dollars selling this garbage. Millions of dollars selling your books full of fake predictions and fake stories, right? You've made millions, bro. You've earned it. David Wilcock, every day, I pray that David Wilcock just quits this conspiracy wacko shit. Every day I pray for him. And my prayer for David Wilcock is that he just quits this conspiracy wacko shit and does something that matters with his life. 25 years is a long time to be wrong, David Wilcock. 25 years is a lifetime for some people. Some die young. So, lest we forget, I call this part of the show, lest we forget. See, David Wilcock is taking a break and mentioning on Twitter that he's taking a break because he has to, because he was so spectacularly wrong recently about his predictions about Donald Trump winning the presidency in a landslide and all this letter of the alphabet nonsense that was going to happen, but none of it did. That he has to go away for a while and hope that people forget how spectacularly wrong he was and will let him come back with new bullshit stories that he's going to invent while he's on his sabbatical. Friends, he has been wrong for so long. In 1998, David Wilcock predicted that a Y2K bug would disrupt everything and cause major disruptions all across the world and lead to major economic downturn globally. But none of that happened. The Y2K bug was patched largely. And with the exception of a few little things, nothing went wrong. There was no apocalypse caused by computers all over the world going down like David Wilcock was talking about or predicting. None of it happened. Nothing that he talked about happening in the year 2000 happened, and he made a boatload of predictions on his first website, ascension2000.com. Go to the Wayback Machine, read all of his bullshit lies. It's amazing and kind of fun to see all of those predictions that David Wilcock made about the year 2000. Again, the website's gone, but you can still get it on the Wayback Machine, ascension2000.com. There's a reason he doesn't want you to see that. It's a treasure trove of bullshittery, generously archived by the mighty, mighty computer gods of the Wayback Machine. Thank the algorithms, thank the algorithms, thank the algorithms, because we can still read this shit that David Wilcock wrote about what was going to happen on the year 2000 and laugh at it. It's a treasure trove of bullshittery. He also predicted on that website that in 1999, a pole shift would occur on planet Earth and our bodies would be transformed into light. And if you just bought his book, in his book that he was pitching, you got to buy my book, there is a full scientific explanation of how, when, and why this will happen. Again, 1999, he's predicting that in the year 2000, a pole shift will occur on planet Earth and our bodies will be transformed into light. Then he goes on to say, if you just buy my book, there is a full scientific explanation of how, when, and why this will happen. Folks, that is a tremendous swing about what may happen. And totally wrong. Shit. Could you imagine being David Wilcock after the year 2000 came and nobody got light bodies and superpowers? And you already sold all those books telling people they were going to get light bodies and superpowers. And none of it happened. David Wilcock, did you give that money back? Did you give that money back for all those books you sold? Telling people that there is a full scientific explanation of how, when, and why we were going to be getting light bodies and superpowers. In 1999, he also predicted that in the year 2000, there would be a huge ascension event, and his new book gives definitive proof that this ascension event is really going to happen. Just buy his book. The proof of the ascension event happening is in his book. Shit. Again, David Wilcock, but then none of it happened. Did you give the money back from those book sales from that prediction? Friends, it just goes on and on with this guy. I've got notes that would take me 5 hours to get through, just detailing his many ridiculous failed predictions, not to mention all the times he's been caught peddling fake stories. In 2008, he said our source field vibrations are accelerating and we're becoming more intelligent, and there would be a total transformation of the human race in 2012. And then there wasn't any total transformation of the human race. No, not that one didn't happen. Shit. David Wilcock strikes out again. In 2008, he also predicted that there were big energy waves hitting Earth at increasing rates. There would be big energy waves hitting Earth at increasing rates up to 2012. And he predicted and promised that some of us will be able to have ascended master abilities. He said what we'll have after 2012 is 100 times more utopian world where things like time travel, levitation, instant telepathy, instant healing, instant telekinesis is as common as breathing. And then none of that shit happened. But I got to tell you, between 2006, 2007, and 2012, David Wilcock was all about all of these amazing predictions about what was going to happen when 2012 came. You know, the Mayan predictions and the Mayan calendar and the Hopi Indians Blue Star predictions about what may happen on 2012. And he grifted hard, telling people he told us we were going to get superpowers and light bodies in 2012. Just buy my new book. It gives definitive proof that this ascension event is really going to happen. How can he give proof for something's going to happen? It didn't happen. So I guess his proof was fake. It has to be fake because none of the shit he said would happen happened. Did he give the money back from those book sales? No. Of course he didn't give the money back from those book sales. He kept all that fucking money. If you were stupid enough to buy his book full of bullshit that he promised, he had proof that there was going to be a total transformation of the human race, and then he had definitive proof that this ascension event was going to really happen. And there's a full scientific explanation of how and why this is going to happen in my book. Just buy my book. And then you bought the book. You're shit out of luck. You kept your money. None of this shit is real. We're in fairy tale land. We're in David Wilcock imaginary land right now. In 2011, he said that people in the CIA, the Pentagon, and other agencies are ready to take action against the financial cabal and that arrests were imminent. He's been pushing mass arrests happening since, I believe, 1998. I found reference to some form of him claiming there's going to be this huge event and mass arrests happening. But for now, we'll 2011, yeah. By the way, nobody took any action against the financial cabal in 2012. In 2012, he said that thousands of conspirators in the finance, media, defense, military, corporations, and government are all about to be arrested in a huge, massive event. And that didn't happen. Damn, he struck out again. But the whole time he's making videos, right? I don't know if he's making videos and collecting super chats during this, but he's speaking at conferences and saying this stuff is going to happen. So he's accepting money for this groundbreaking information that he's bringing, and none of it, oh yeah, shit. None of it is real. God damn it. Struck out again. None of this shit is real. In 2014, a very big and bold prediction, and Vegas, shit, something big is about to happen. Well, that could apply to anything. I don't know if we're going to call that a strikeout. In 2017, he claimed he received high-level briefings from high-level intelligence briefings, and the takedown of the deep state is now in progress. Does anybody remember the deep state all getting arrested in this huge event in 2017? Is it? Shit, David Wilcock, you struck out again. And again in 2018 with the mass arrests. David Wilcock wrote, some sort of major visible action against this genocidal globalist entity is now impending. No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing like that happened, David Wilcock. Shit, you struck out again. How many times are you going to strike out at this, David Wilcock? In 2020, you predicted that Donald Trump would win the election in a landslide. Sorry, wait. I'm just checking. I'm trying to see if I'm in an alternate timeline or something, because you struck out again, David Wilcock. And no, you big dummy. You psychic prophet who predicted that Donald Trump was going to win the election in a landslide. You are a psychic and you made that prediction. You're a prophet and you made that prediction that Donald Trump is going to win in a landslide. You're a terrible psychic. You're the world's worst psychic, and you're a terrible prophet. You're a false prophet. Earlier, I mentioned the test of the prophet. Friends, I have only provided you with a very few examples of David Wilcock's ridiculous failed predictions. These are just some examples. To fail the test of the prophet, you only have to be wrong once. David Wilcock, you fail the test of a prophet every time you try to make some kind of a prediction. I can find hundreds of examples of you predicting something that did not occur. You, sir, are no prophet. But again, my mind goes to different emotional states. I suppose I've always been angry at this guy for claiming to be some kind of Christ-like prophet. That's ridiculous enough. But the anger always leads to other emotional states for me. The anger settles when I think about this guy's life. What must it be? What must it feel like to be that guy? Right? And, you know, I know in one of his books, he talks a lot about being bullied, right? But there's just some people that like invite that because they say stupid shit constantly. They're worthy. They become worthy of mockery through their own devising. And certainly, Mr. David Wilcock is worthy of mockery. And he has attracted a great deal of it. I suppose I've been guilty of that myself. But I really do believe that it must be a pathetic, pitiful existence, a hell-like existence being that guy, and knowing that you've been so wrong. He is well-versed in Christianity and some Bible study. I've been made aware of that. He knows about the test of a prophet. He knows that he's fake. He knows the test of a prophet. He knows it well. And I'm sure he's thought about all of those failed predictions. So while propping himself up and shining up his teeth and, you know, getting his hair done and, I don't know, putting on that bronzer, you know, the makeup and everything, it's got to occur to him. All of those failed predictions, he has failed miserably over and over and over and over again and again. He knows about the test of a prophet. So while he tells people or claims to be some sort of prophet, in his latest videos, he's claiming that he's channeling Christ, basically, and God and angels and interdimensional beings, placing himself on a pedestal above everyone. I'm so important. I'm so important. I talk to angels and interdimensional beings, and I'll share that with you. Just buy my books, right? What a sad existence for this man who has to pretend. David Wilcock, this may be the end, or you can pretend. You've had a good run, 25 years of pretending to be some kind of psychic or some kind of prophet. I don't know how this dude can keep rolling and rolling on with this list of pathetic, ridiculous predictions that they all fail, friends. They all fail. Somebody bring me one that didn't fail. Somebody bring me one that actually happened. I can't find one. And I've read far too much of this trash from this guy. I'm not going to keep it up. That's why I'm wearing my psych ward shirt, because I've got to be in the psych ward to continue to care about what the fuck this idiot is saying lately. Look, I don't need to even hear anymore from him, right? All I need to do is tell you he's making shit up. It's fake. It's not real, friends. It's David Wilcock's cuckoo, crazy, illusionary world that he lives in, where any of this shit is real or possible. David Wilcock, you don't have superpowers, bro. You're not a prophet, okay? You're an ordinary human being like the rest of us. Get used to it, friend. Get used to it. You, sir, are nothing special. There's nothing special about you, except perhaps your ability to bullshit your way into $1 million mansions. You gotta respect that. This dude has bullshitted. He has just bullshitted his way into owning $1 million mansions, if we're to believe the hype and the nonsense that he puts out into the world, that he's so successful and he's a New York Times best-selling author. Good for him. You bullshit it your way into a lavish lifestyle where you could just collect money for bullshit, right? I guess even bullshit has some kind of value. It has to, or this wouldn't have worked for this guy. This would not have worked for this guy for this goddamn long. Like, it can't It can't have worked this long. You know, and the more I think about how spectacularly wrong David Wilcock has been over and over again, and like, at what point, after what I believe is basically stealing money from stupid people for a 25-year-long career, are you going to say, you know, I can't keep going like this because I've been wrong about everything for 25 years while I've been collecting money for this shit for 25 years. Eventually, karma. There has to be balance. It can't keep going this way. I believe that the universe has rules, and you may fuck around for a while, but eventually things swing back into balance. David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy land wacko shit, and he needs to find some balance. I think he needs a real job. That's what I think. But maybe, again, I'm letting my darker emotions get to me, because when I hear about a guy who has lived a privileged, lavish lifestyle by any account, he grew up wealthy, right? His daddy paid for his college, right? I don't know. He, for a short time, was an aide for like mentally challenged people, and complained. Many different sources of him complaining that he was making so little money doing that. Well, maybe you need to go back to that, bro, and at least do something that has value to the world. There's nothing wrong with helping mentally challenged people as a day job, right? And you're a very educated person. Isn't just selling bullshit for a living a waste of your daddy's money that paid for your education? I would think it is. And, again, my only hope for him is that David Wilcock just quits this conspiracy wacko shit and does something meaningful, right? Come on, bro. Grow a spine, right? It's tough out there in the real world, David Wilcock, where you got to work for a living and offer value to the world to get by, right? It's tough where you have to offer some kind of value to people for the money that you're taking from them. It's easy to sell people trash if you can get away with it, but how long are you going to get away with selling people trash, David Wilcock? And friends, I got to tell you, David Wilcock talks about synchronicity, so I'll tell you about my synchronicity experience today. Today, I was thinking about adding some music to the show and thinking about conspiracy land and my place within it. And I went looking on YouTube for some songs about conspiracies. And I swear to God, there's a guy on YouTube named David Wilcox with an X. David Wilcox, Wilcox, right? I couldn't believe that the guy's name was David Wilcox, and he had a song on YouTube about conspiracy land, right? I could not believe it. And that's my synchronicity. But it's not just that the guy's name was David Wilcox and had a song about conspiracy land and basically about quitting conspiracy land, right? It's not just that. The guy's name is David Wilcox, and he's singing a song about maybe I should quit. Well, I don't want to give away the lyrics, but about an excuse to quit conspiracy wacko shit. And also in this song, I couldn't believe it when I heard it, because in this song, he's talking about all of the better things that he could be doing with his life instead of this conspiracy land wacko shit. And again, this made me think about David Wilcox. So David Wilcox's song called Conspiracy Wacko Shit made me really think about David Wilcock and how he needs to quit this conspiracy wacko shit. He really does. That's my synchronicity. And when you hear the song, you're going to understand. It sent chills down my spine when I heard David Wilcox singing a song that in my mind, he was singing it to David Wilcock. And in the song, he's telling them maybe you need an excuse to quit this conspiracy wacko shit. And I thought about David Wilcock, like talking about taking a sabbatical, and he's learning to play electric bass and composing music and working on hover cars. Great, I want a hover car. Sign me up. Unless it's bullshit, unless that hover car business nonsense is bullshit, just like all your other bullshit, then I'm not really interested, okay? But anyway, this, my friends, I want to welcome our musical guest for tonight, another musical guest, David Wilcock, Cox, C-O-X, David Wilcox, singing his song, Conspiracy Wacko Shit. I'm going to play our musical guest, and then when we return from this musical guest, I will dedicate my full and total attention to the live chat, and we can discuss this subject from our presentation tonight or anything you'd like to. I'm all yours right after this musical guest, friends. We'll be right back. Really listen to this song and think about this situation with David Wilcock and the fact that it's being sung by a man named David Wilcox. This is Synchronicity, friends, here on Truthseekers. We're going to start the Synchronicity files after this. Listen to this. We'll be right back, friends, with live chat discussion right after this song.
Sometimes what we need is a soulful song that can bring us all together, heal our hearts. But in times like these, we might need a song like this. I still want to learn to play piano. I could be practicing every day. I keep saying I'd love to start running. I'd be in shape if I had my way. But there were always aliens to think about, Illuminati and the puppet state. Chemtrails poisoning the populace. No use trying, it's much too late. Big crock conspiracy wacko shit. Deadlock, truth I never will admit. It's only an excuse to quit. Conspiracy wacko shit. I spend my days hiding in the basement, isolated as I can get. I sink down deep into my wormhole, the dark side of the internet. I might have liked to drive across America, camping out in the old RV. I'm too scared of queuing on and on and on. They'll hack my brain with the new 5G. Big crock conspiracy wacko shit. Deadlock, the truth I never will admit. Gives me an excuse to quit. Conspiracy wacko shit. Fist clenched, strangling my iPad, apocalyptically entertained. I'm sweat drenched, paranoid, it's this bad, pure adrenaline in my veins. At least I finally see I have no choices. 'Cause everyone's controlled by the deep state. Long as we believe in unseen forces, we never even try to change our fate. Big crock conspiracy wacko shit. Deadlock, the truth I never will admit. It's only an excuse to quit. Conspiracy wacko shit. It's only an excuse to quit. Conspiracy wacko shit. Yeah. I feel better. I hope you do.
Yeah. And there's something about that song that made me feel better. Put things in perspective about some crazy parts of my life. And maybe even my place in this conspiracy wacko shit, right? But the cherry on top was that it was a guy named David Wilcox singing about conspiracy wacko shit. It doesn't get any better, friends. It doesn't get any better. So I will, let me take that banner down. I want to thank David Wilcox for that great song, Conspiracy Wacko Shit. I put his channel, I put a link to that song on his YouTube channel in our description. Please check him out. I'm going to check out some other of his songs. I think he's pretty talented. And I like the subject matter. I don't know if he has any more conspiracy songs. We'll see. So I'm going to dedicate my complete and total attention to the live chat. We can talk about this subject. We can talk about any other subject. And wow, I'm just noticing I planned on an hour presentation and hopefully time after that presentation for interaction with the live chat. And it looks like I almost nailed it. We're at 10:02. So we're a minute and 2 minutes. I was 2 minutes over. I talked too long. I tend to do that. I need a better script writer. Oh yeah, I'm the script writer. This is Mission Impossible sometimes. Oh, I did not know this. I'm gonna. Happy birthday, Eileen. I hope your cake isn't a fire hazard. Jelly Bridge Burner. So hi, is it Eileen Ebony's birthday? Happy birthday. If that, I think it's Eileen Ebony's birthday, right? Happy birthday, Eileen. I'm glad that you're here and you could spend some of your birthday time with us. We are honored, man. I am not I'm not a birthday guy. Me, I don't like birthdays because I always feel like all of the stuff that I wanted to accomplish that year and now it's over and I didn't do this, that, or the other thing. I try to have a good time though and recognize the change. Okay, Bernard Conkin is here at Truthseekers. What is your contact info? Would you be interested in doing a Zoom interview with myself about free energy technologies, plasma state matter, and electrolysis, cold fusion, alchemy? Yes, I would. Speaking of, well, that's not really too fringe, except for the cold fusion alchemy. Yes, I would be interested in that. However, what I've been telling people that have their own shows that want me to be a guest is I can maybe accommodate you, but it would be better if we just record an interview together and then I can use it and so can you. So if you're agreeable to those terms, that's really the way I have to do it because I just don't have the time to do my own show, plus be a guest on many other people's shows. I get asked all the time. Occasionally I do it under those situations, like let's just record a conversation together and then I'll use it for my show and you can use it for your show. Works out great because we don't waste time. Otherwise, we could be back and forth. You could come on my show and I could go on your show. And yeah, it is what it is. And more birthday wishes for Eileen. Lizzie says, happy birthday, Eileen. Yeah, it is Eileen Ebony. Happy birthday, Eileen Ebony. And also, I want to check something, and I should never do this on air, but I'm going to because I'm lazy. And I'm afraid that I'll forget to do it. So I got to check my Gmail because I noticed there's two people in the live chat, Jonaside and Renee, Miss Jonaside. Shout out to them. Let me see. Oh, no, it's in Twitter DMs. Oh, no. Now I got to try and find the message. One second, friends. Just bear with me. Okay, so Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be talking with BGs about the shadow people. And I know Renee, Mrs. Jonaside, and Jonaside lived in a house or something like that they saw shadow people. And we're hoping that we could get BGs and Renee, Miss Jonaside, and Jonaside on this Friday night at 9 p.m. And they're in the live chat. So if they could do that, hit me up. Let's do it. Let's do a show on shadow people. I want to delve a little deeper into that on our dark side segment. Okay. Same platform I am down for. You can upload first, then send me the file, and I can upload it to my channel, and we'll mirror it from your channel. Yeah, then I can host you. I use StreamYard. I don't like Zoom, if that's okay with you, Bernard Compton. I'd be happy to do that. Wait a minute. Let me get out in here. We're doing show business live on air, but you get the show with warts and all, friends. And I'm sorry, but I have such a limited time to dedicate to this endeavor that if I could get it done now and off my list of things to do, I'm going to do that. 1 second. I have a banner for that email address somewhere here. Yeah, here's my email. truthseekershow@gmail.com. So all show business should be directed to that. If you want to do a show, I'd be interested in talking about those subjects. Don't know much about the one you mentioned, but here we are. Travis Walton is about to be on with that hardcore investigative journalist Jimmy Church tonight. He won't even have to lie about his co-signer bailing on him. Yeah. All right, listen. I'm not going to say anything negative about another show host. Here's what I'm going to say. He's going to get a softball interview, and they won't even address his claims of being extorted recently or his former partner's claims of, no longer supporting the story after 30 years. They're not even going to talk about that. I'd be surprised if they did. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. But you know what? No, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. But there have been some things between that show host and me where I cover something and do a great job, and then he covers it because he thinks it's popular, I guess, or something again. And then he softballs and doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. I didn't get an interview. I asked, or I tried to ask. The only way I know to contact Travis Walton is through Facebook. So I sent him a friend request and did not get a return or a reply. I sent him a message, did not get a return or a reply. As well as his former partner. I tried to invite them both on here. But, it is what it is, friends. I can only control what happens on my show. I try not to think about other shows, but sometimes things do piss me off. Like, I can't get the interview, but you can, and you're going to fucking waste it. Great. Good for you. You're going to waste that interview. Maybe not. Maybe I'm, don't have the faith that I should in people. Right? We'll see what happens. Somebody keep me posted. I sure as shit am not going to listen to that guy's show to see if he actually asks any important questions. Wilcock and StreamYard is fine for me. And please check my interview with Leak Project on the same topic as the reference. I will send you an email shortly with the info and links. Great. Thanks, Bernard. That would be. UAP says, money will get a reply. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Absolutely, it will. And speaking of money, there's two ways that you could support our show here. The first is that we have Patreon. And for as little as $1 a month, you support the show, and all of the money that goes to the Patreon we use for different show purposes, like supplies and things. It's not a lot of money, but it helps tremendously to keep me out of the doghouse with my wife. So if I need something for the show, like a microphone or any of that stuff, comes out of the Patreon, or you can make a one-time PayPal donation. And that email address is the same email address to send a PayPal donation. It's the same same email address that we mentioned earlier, truthseekershow@gmail.com. So those are the two ways that you can help the show, but there's a third way that will cost you nothing. And that, my friends, is the easiest way to help and support our show. And that is to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. Send our channel address to some friends. Ask them to subscribe. And please, if you have a Twitch account, follow us over there. It's twitch.tv / Truth Seeker Show. All one word, Truth Seeker Show. So Twitch TV / Truth Seeker Show. Please follow us over there. We're trying to build a following, and we haven't gone up in a while over there. I don't know what the metrics over there are. How do you get to the money on Twitch so far? A lot of people told me, man, Twitch is great, but they stream video games there. Yeah, Twitch is great. You get, you can actually make some money on Twitch streaming, but I don't think a show like ours is really, it's mostly video games, as far as I understand. But the views over there are starting to increase slowly. So I'm going to keep at it. If you could, and if you don't have a Twitch account, sign up for a Twitch account. Follow us over there. Check twitch.tv/Truthseekers show. So liking, commenting, and sharing really does help us with the AI algorithm gods. By the way, I say a daily prayer to them. I pray to the AI algorithm gods of Google Corporation and Alphabet or whatever created this AI algorithm god. Please find favor in our show. Please rise us in the search engines. Please give us more views. Please find us more viewers. In Google's name we pray. Amen. All right, folks. Every day I have to say the AI algorithm prayer. That's what I have to do here. But back to the live chat. Any questions or comments for me? Effluent for you. What happened to laser hair removal? It was a thing. I'm pretty sure it's still a thing. And you know what? Effluent for you, if I could, I would get my face lasered so that I would never have to shave again. I would love to do that, but I heard it's very painful. I know or knew an actor that did that, and he never had to shave, and his face was always so fresh. It looked fresh, shaved, smooth every day, and he never had to shave or deal with shaving ever again. I would definitely do laser hair removal, but I didn't know that we were going to be getting into personal grooming tonight. The only reason Travis wouldn't want to appear on your show is because he knows that you'll ask him some more hard questions. I mean, maybe. Look, I'm doing what I can do in order to, folks, bear with me for one moment. I got to grab something over here. I'll be out of frame so I can plug tomorrow's show. All right, I don't know how well this is going to show up. Okay, let's try to get it better there. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., friends, we'll be interviewing the author of this book, Intimate Alien, The Hidden Story of the UFO, a gentleman by the name of David J. Halperin, who is a theology professor of all things and a lifetime UFO investigator, researcher. The book is interesting. It's not like any other UFO book. That's why I wanted to talk to this guy. It goes at UFOs from a more mythological or religious significant standpoint, if that makes sense. But we're going to fully unpack this tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is the book, Intimate Alien, The Hidden Story of the UFO by David J. Halperin. There's a chapter in here on Roswell, so I'm going to be asking him some questions about his take on Roswell, having had the benefit of, I think, something like 45 years looking into this stuff. I love it when I get to talk to one of the veterans who have spent a great deal of time investigating and researching and writing about these topics, because they come with a lot of wisdom and experience, right? And usually insight. So tomorrow we're going to do that, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a rare Truthseekers early show. And I got to tell you, I'm not a morning guy, so but I had to do it when Mr. Halperin was available. Yeah, he does. Maybe he does know it's not going to be a softball interview. Uh-oh. Terry Joyce is here. Welcome, Terry Joyce, my comedian friend. For those that are unaware, Terry Joyce was on the first season of, God, what's the name of that show? Terry Joyce, Last Comic Standing. And knows like Ralphie May and Mick Carrot Top and a lot of the bigger names in comedy, which is really great. Yeah. Okay, Steve C is here and says, what are your thoughts on the Bledsoes, Stephen? Here's what I think about them. Blurry pictures, no proof. I don't know. Gray basket for now. I have yet to do a deep dive on the Bledsoes and their claims. However, I did start that and I wasn't too impressed. But I did a partial run down that rabbit hole, right? Steve, see, I didn't get to the end, and I like to get to the end before I make my mind up. So Gray Basket for now, but I hope to be maybe looking into more of them and doing a show on them. Yeah. Eileen Ebony says, Terry Joyce, I love your shows. Yeah, please do subscribe to, Terry Joyce knows George Lopez as well. Yeah, go over to Terry Joyce's channel and subscribe. So interestingly, we have a better than usual live audience tonight. I have been noticing that the live audience has been dropping off. The catching the replay views and numbers are still pretty good, but the live attendance has been pretty off, and part of that is probably my fault and maybe not giving enough time to the live chat to interact with the live chat. So people go, if he's not going to really interact much with the live chat, I don't need to be in the live chat. So I really am going to try every show. From now on going forward, we're going to end it with the discussion section, right? Which is just this interaction with the live chat. UAPRSAP says Bledsoes are opportunists with a cult. Yeah, I hear they're pretty cultic-like with the people that believe in them, and you get attacked if you say they're full of shit, which is really typical of some of these UFO fraudsters. They're making money selling bullshit, and they can't withstand somebody saying this is bullshit. Because it may be, right? Why else? If it wasn't bullshit, why would they attack people that say it's bullshit? That's a good indicator, right? Jolly Bridge Burner. Yes, Jolly Bridge Burner, you are solely responsible for the drop in viewership. I'm blaming Jolly Bridge Burner. This is not a miss a few, Stephen, but you said a bunch going on. Yes, me as well. And I got to tell you, friends, it was, I don't want to get too personal here, but it was really hard for me to sort of bounce myself out of a funk that I've been in. For the past, I don't know, maybe a month, I've been having a little bit of a hard time. And there's a combination, I don't like to feel mentally, stormy, if that makes any sense. So I got to tell you, last weekend at the cabin, I was a total failure, complete and total failure at finishing the work. I'm working on this kitchen in the cabin that I need to do. Totally failed at everything that I tried there. This is the wrong materials. I couldn't work outside. It's freezing cold. It was 20 during the day or 25 during the day. One of the days when I was there, it was cold. And so I have the materials to work outside, but and I don't have the right materials to finish the inside work, really. And then maybe I did have some materials. I could have done some things, but I didn't do much. I try to figure out why I was in sort of a funk lately and how am I getting over this rough patch. I had a rough patch. That's all I could call it. I had a real rough patch for the past month. And that made doing the shows more difficult. Because it's a couple of those shows, I just, look, I showed up and I did what I could do, but I just have been in this funk for a month. But luckily, cabin therapy, that's what I'm calling it, because I went and I walked down this hiking trail, and I thought about what's going on and what's making me feel this way and how do we move forward. And I think I got it figured out, really got it figured out. I have a lot of these challenges that it doesn't work out. I got, failed projects I can't finish and other things. And that's what caused my funk. Too many unfinished projects or projects I can't finish because of one problem or another. So I took some time to try to figure it out. And I got to tell you, today I feel completely better. I feel like I bounced out of that funk, And then, what else helps is that I look like a bum for the past week. At the cabin, I don't shave. Sometimes I don't shower. My clothes are all dirty. My wife, when I come home, she says, "You smell like a bum that somebody lit on fire." Because of the wood stove and the campfires at the cabin. It's really the campfires that do the bum that was lit on fire smell. That's something else. My wife's like, "Jesus, you smell like a bum that somebody lit on fire." Love that. But anyway, today I really feel like I bounced back well, and I got to tell you, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, and I'm smelling good, and I'm feeling good because of it. I think that really had something to do with it. Like, stop, take care of yourself. Okay, and Bernard says, just sent me a quick email. Much love and respect. Look forward to your reply. Sadly, I have to take off for now. Keys. Yeah, great. Thanks. I'll be in touch then. We'll see if we can't do that. And, oh, the thing jumped. No wonder. I thought nobody was talking in the live chat, and then suddenly I'm way, way behind here. So let me see if we can try to catch up here. Jolly Bridge Burner says, I should blame them because they seem to bring haters with them. Yeah, look, I'm kind of, I should blame them because, I don't know, we had our fair share of haters tonight. After all, the show's not over yet, and it's already gotten 4 downvotes. Those are amateur numbers, though. Sometimes when we cover some of these claims, we get 10 downvotes before the show even starts. That's my favorite thing in the universe, when people thumbs down it before it even starts. Like, how do you know I suck, bro? But engagement is engagement, so thank you. God bless those 4 people who disliked our show tonight, because you've helped us. You've helped us rise higher in the YouTube algorithm. All Around Arbiter says it's great to be hated by the wrong people. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Greg Magic says, story of my life. Yeah, fellow show host. Don't you love the downvotes before the stream even starts? It's like, at least wait until it begins to tell me I suck. But here we are. It's helping. And like I said, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm smelling good. I'm in a good mood. Imagine that. I'm in a good mood for once. So negative people, they just kind of slide off my back lately. Eileen Ebony says, Cambion got his groove back. Yeah, I did. Tomorrow I'm doing a great show with a great author who's written an incredible book. Tonight we got to do some new things and have some musical guests and try some new things. I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling like I got my groove back. There you go. Bledstows, meet the Bledstows. They have a place that's culty. Yeah, I've heard that. Terry Joyce says, I've had thumbs down before I start too. It used to really piss me off, Terry Joyce. It really did. I got so mad one day, I was like yelling, and the show didn't start yet. My wife's like, who are you yelling at? And I'm like, I'm yelling at these people on the internet. Fuck these people. I didn't even start the show yet, and they've already tell me I suck. Fuck these people. Fuck them. I hope they get cancer in their ass and die, right? And then I realized, like, engagement is engagement, and so now it doesn't upset me. I say, God bless those people, and sometimes I need to be told I suck. It's great if you listen. I can take it. Okay, I can take criticism. Think I suck? Downvote me all you want. Okay, I'm doing the best that I can up here, doing a show, warts and all, produced by myself. And I don't want to even get into budget issues. Oh, and by the way, I am going to share one more thing before we go, before we wrap things up here. Let me see if I can find it. I got to share this because there was something that I was going to start a new. One second. I was going to start a new series covering a YouTuber at, Post Disclosure World is the YouTuber, more commonly known as UFO Jesus. I was going to start that this week, but I came up with this idea that in order to do the coverage on that, I was going to create a character for the show called UFO Lucifer. Well, really, I was going to be UFO Satan, but UFO Satan, there's a guy, UFO Satan, on Twitter. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but I didn't want the confusion, so we chose to be UFO Lucifer. I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen here and show you what that was like. There we go. Scary. Yeah, that's UFO Lucifer. But I had some major problems in getting this thing finished. Again, you know, I was talking about this funk I'm in. I have all these projects and they all have problems. So I can't move things forward because of the problems that are preventing me from, and this was one of them. I'm supposed to be able to move my mouth very well in this, and I can't. And I tried all these different ways to try to fix it. It's just not working out. So I'm going to go with plan B, and we'll start the coverage of this UFO Jesus. I'll be critiquing and talking about what he talks about in his videos. There's been UFO Jesus. I think it's time for UFO Lucifer. But he's not going to look like that. It's going to look different. I had a plan B, and it was, honestly, it was the easier. It was the easier road. It was much harder to try to do this other thing, but I thought I could handle the challenge of making it work. It didn't work. Looks great, but you can't even tell that I'm moving. You can barely tell I'm moving my mouth when I move my mouth. So I got to work on an alternate character mask or prosthetic or whatever we're going to do. Oh, he's just UFO Ryan now. No, he can't be just UFO Ryan now. Because, yeah, he took down the UFO Jesus shit, right? I'm going to find it. If anybody has it, send it to me. Especially any video where he's saying he's UFO Jesus, okay? I didn't know that I thought I may have heard about this, that he took all those down. Maybe we have them, UFO Ryan. Maybe we have them, or we have access to someone who does have them. We'll see what happens with our coverage from that. Frapsap says he's not going by UFO Jesus anymore. I had a powwow with him, and he realizes he can't live up to the Jesus persona. No. Once you've decided you're UFO Jesus, you can't just say, I'm no longer UFO Jesus. We're not letting him off the hook. He's UFO Jesus. Everybody knows him as UFO Jesus. If you want to reference him in a community of conspiracy nutters, you don't say UFO Ryan or Post-Disclosure World. You say UFO Jesus. It's UFO Jesus. He's not going to cop out of this that quickly, that easily. No, not before UFO Lucifer has his rebuttal. No, we will not allow that. So, yeah, he'll still sell you a UFO Jesus t-shirt, though. Oh, my God, I got to buy one, Frapsap. I'm going to buy a UFO Jesus t-shirt so that I could be UFO Lucifer and critique his videos and the ridiculous disclosures coming any day. Garbage that he sells. Genocide says, I know a space wizard, UFO Gandalf. You know what? That's a good idea. I might have ripped off UFO Gandalf a little bit, but I'm going to be UFO Lucifer. So that's also, that's also one of the other reasons I was in that funk, is because I feel like I'm always waiting for parts to do something or supplies to do something, whether it's at the cabin or here for the show. I have to. So I had to order more mask stuff because the first whole thing is just a huge failure. And you know what? It pained me to do it, but eventually you got to go, I'm throwing a tail in on anything that didn't work. I need something that works first and foremost. And I'm having similar problems with this, business I'm supposed to have. It's not a business. It's a startup that's never made a dime. And I've been working on that, some of these computer ideas for 2 years with no profit shown because I don't have the product done to sell it. And I made things too complicated, or I didn't understand the manufacturing process, or I didn't understand supply concerns. So I got 2 prototypes sitting around that work great, but we can't manufacture them. So I guess I've been feeling this thing with this. Nothing was going right, and I can't finish this because I need parts, and this UFO Lucifer thing is another failure, but I'm gonna fix it. That one's it was an easy fix. So I bought some supplies. We're gonna go at this, and I'm coming up with UFO Lucifer character, and we're gonna debut that as soon as I humanly can do it. Hopefully, it might not be this week. Definitely, I'm waiting for materials. So next week we hope. But I thought that would be funny to be UFO Lucifer for UFO Jesus. And it kind of makes sense, right? Get both sides of the story, because he only gives you one. I thought somebody should give you the other side of that story. I thought it only fair if somebody gave us the other side of the story. But back to the live chat. Matt R says, waiting for parts or waiting for Parks. Unfortunately, Simon Parks has a new hour-long video to mock. Oh boy, I don't know that I'm going to go there. I think I've had enough. I think I've been in the psych ward. I got to keep the shirt on to go through a Simon Parks video, especially an hour-long one. I don't think I can withstand that guy. I was okay when he was doing 15-minute videos. I could do that. I can't do an hour of that guy. My head will explode. LL Bird, is DW really set up as a nonprofit 501c3? He has a nonprofit 501c3, but he will not. So far, I've publicly asked if he could explain, do the super chats go to the nonprofit 501c3, or do they go to your for-profit company? Do the book sales go to the nonprofit organization you have, or do those go to does that money go to the for-profit? Does your speaking appearance fees, does what of your income, David Wilcock, goes to your 501c3 nonprofit, and what of your income goes to your for-profit corporation? And so far, he hasn't returned my calls or emails or requests for information about that. Terry Joy says, I think UFO Lucifer and UFO Jesus is a funny premise. Yeah, and look, I don't dislike the guy. I just disagree with him. So I think that we could be friendly doing that. And it's it's probably going to be good for both of us. It may be good for both of us, me doing that, right? It'll get more eyes on him, and hopefully it'll get more eyes on our show here. I can't lie, I'm punching up there. He's got much better viewership than us, but in truth, I don't really give him a lot of respect for having a much bigger viewership than us, because the quality of what he's presenting is, disclosure's coming someday. And then another video, disclosure's coming someday. And then another video, oh, this latest big bombshell revelation. And this is how it could change the world. And nothing ever, it's like David Wilcock stuff. Nothing that he talks about ever really amounts to very much. This guy at least has some sourcing, but he's making mountains out of molehills. And we had an exchange on Twitter where he was citing Open Minds TV as a source that I'm supposed to trust. And Open Minds TV for years made money hyping and selling bullshit from Wendell Stevens, twice convicted child molester. So I don't have very much respect for his research abilities when he sends me an article that's written by somebody that also pumped articles on a twice convicted child molester UFO investigator. Doesn't give me a lot of, it doesn't garner my respect when you send me an article like that and say, see, I'm right. No, you're not. You're citing who? Alejandro Rojas? Jesus Christ, why doesn't he just cite like Linda Moulton Howe or, I don't know, Dr. Greer, right? It's all a big club, and I ain't in it. There is a drop down on how to report a suspected fraud. The more that report, the faster he has to at least pay taxes. Yeah. Bernard Conkin says, except you're better than a Luciferian god, Simon Parks is yet another loser propagandist out there. Luckily for the community, real disclosure is finally coming and will destroy the fakes. I think that remains to be seen, Bernard Conkin, and we may agree to disagree on any form of disclosure coming. And people have asked my assessment of this 180-day report that's coming, right? And by the way, David Wilcock is definitely, he even said on Twitter, he's going to be talking about upcoming disclosure events. He's pivoting back to the alien bullshit because he knows this report is coming out in June, and he can say all kinds of bullshit for the next couple of months. And then when that report comes out and it's a big nothing burger, he'll pretend he never said any of that shit. That's what I think his new plan is. Let's talk about this big report coming out and how we're going to get disclosure, and the aliens are going to tell us about the bodies, and none of that will happen. None of that will happen. None of the shit that he's going to talk about, upcoming disclosure events, none of that shit has any value, will be proven to be factually accurate, or that he's right about anything he says is going to happen. And then he'll pretend he never said any of this shit and roll on with new fairy tale bullshit nonsense stories, which is why I keep saying it. It's the title of tonight's show. David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. Dude, we even did a song for you tonight, David Wilcock, so that maybe you would realize it's time to quit conspiracy wacko shit. Bernard Conkin believes that disclosure starts in June. Sure it does. And, disclosure was supposed to start right after that TTSA news conference. And then, no, the next year, because, we didn't get the right disclosure president. And disclosure would have happened if only Hillary Clinton would have been elected. But we didn't get the disclosure president that we needed to bring disclosure. So it's going to happen next year, or the next president, or the next decade. It's kicked the can, Bernard Conkin, and it has been I can recall at least 5 years of people claiming disclosures around the corner any minute now, and it never seems to come. Would I like it to? Fuck yeah, living in a world with aliens and shit, that'd be cool, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yes, Steve C says flying cars are released this year from David Wilcock. Yeah. And by the way, I forgot to do some shout outs, so I'm going to try to go back and give everybody a shout out of mine. Shout out Jolly Bridge Burner. Shout out to UAP or SAP. Shout out to Bernard Conkin. Shout out to Terry Joyce is here. Shout out to QG Lee Squatch. Where's that? Quigley Squatch. Shout out to All Around Arbiter. I always hate doing this. Effluent for You. Pragmagic is here. Jolly Bridge Burner is here. Eileen Ebony. Happy birthday, Eileen Ebony. Big birthday shout out from Truthseekers to Eileen Ebony. I hope you had an amazing birthday, Eileen Ebony, and thank you for spending a part of it with us. Let me see. Who did I miss? Frapsap is here. Trying to make sure that I don't miss anybody, but I don't want to repeat myself. This is always a tightrope here. Matt R is here. LL Blur is here. Let's see. Steve C is here. And I don't know. If I did not get you, mention it in the live chat, and I will apologize for my inability to do this well and shout you out and thank you for being here in attendance. And it's strange to me that there are so few names to shout out, but still so many viewers, which means there's a lot of David Wilcock people listening in or watching, but not participating. And what a shame, because look, if you believe in this false prophet, I'm sorry. You're welcome here. We don't give false predictions, false prophecies. The most I do is we occasionally will have a tarot card reader here. Renee, Miss Jonaside is here. Jonaside is also here. I'm sorry, the live chat will only let me go so far up, so I missed a lot of people that haven't spoken in a while. My apologies. Greetings and salutation to both Jonaside, how could I forget, and Renee, Miss Jonaside. Nikki Grace is here and just got here, so shout out to Nikki Grace. Nice to see you there, Nikki Grace 7. Yeah, so boy, there's a lot of David Wilcock followers that may be listening or watching, because there's an Out of Mind is here. I don't know that I shouted out of Mind. I may have. It's okay to do it twice. Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny to me that there's. So Renee Mr. Oversight says I need a checklist. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah, it is what it is, though. So it's funny to me that there's so many. Every time I do a show covering this guy, some of his believers listen and watch, but they don't comment, And if that's because you feel, maybe you feel like you got conned, or you feel like, the revelation of this guy selling so much horse shit and you believed in him makes you feel bad. Hey, you're not the only one, right? I bought one of his books. He owes me $19.95 because he sold me a book full of lies. And that's what got me looking into one David Wilcock. I couldn't believe. I started reading this book and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm a computer science guy. And in this book, he's saying that this inventor friend of his, Pete Peterson, invented a 40-core processor and all of this stuff, and invented the first alphanumeric computer that was sold to major universities and beat Apple to market. And I went, that can't be right. And that's what got me started down the rabbit hole of lies of David Wilcox. So if you feel bad, if you're listening in and you're watching, right? Do you need some counseling? Some of us do. We would be happy to help you here. There's a lot of recovering people here, recovering from bullshit, right? We're all, to one extent or another, a lot of us are recovering from bullshit. So don't feel bad. Feel free to chime in the live chat. Feel free to participate. You are most welcome. You're not the only one that got conned by a con man, right? It's okay to participate. And even if you staunchly want to support him and explain to me why all of his predictions constantly fail, I'll talk to you about it. I've had this conversation before with many different people, many different one-time friends. We're like, why are you saying David Wilcock is a fraud? I liked him on Ancient Aliens. I might have too, because at least he was talking about something that kind of made sense before all the bullshit, right? I could forgive him for some of the old bullshit, right? I don't know. But it is what it is. Yes, levitation, shape-shifting, telekinesis, telepathy. They don't all have those. Some just have one. Oh, come on. Yeah. Bernard Conkin says he believes in the blue chicken alien gods, although I could potentially believe that there was once one named Thoth, but highly unlikely and not until the day one appears in front of mine eyes. Yeah. Believe what you see, not what you hear. It's an old saying. Hopefully, I'm wrong about David Wilcock becoming Elon's lapdog prophet after Elon comes out of the hybrid closet. Are you kidding me? No way. That's got to be a conspiracy theory, because Elon Musk is always like, aliens? Bullshit. Flying saucer? Bullshit. I don't think he would be hanging out with David Wilcock. Affluent for you, says David Wilcock, a wig and false teeth. I can neither confirm or deny the accuracy of Affluent for You's statement. This is not meant to be insulting or slandering David Wilcock if he doesn't indeed have a wig and false teeth. We don't know. But someone mentioned that in the live chat. Don't call my lawyer, David Wilcock. Call Affluent for You's lawyer. He said it, okay? Oh, and that's another thing. There's been recently some interesting legal developments because David Wilcock got served in a lawsuit, and apparently they weren't able to serve him at his home address that everybody's aware of, where he's supposed to be living. It's in the court documents. So I could say it, and then they try to serve him at other addresses. And I believe we're unable to. But then eventually his wife was able to accept the summons or complaint, or however that subpoena, however that works, or the legal paperment that you get when you're being served with a lawsuit in federal court. So his wife got it. Maybe she gave it to him, hopefully. And we may cover the lawsuit stuff, but it's really kind of, yeah, that is conspiracy land wacko shit. That lawsuit is conspiracy land wacko shit. And all of these lawsuits going on, along with I'm not going to say his name. The one with the blue chicken god guy, right? The blue chicken time traveling Buck Rogers space hero. That guy's lawsuits against everybody, they're all wackadoo. They are all conspiracy wacko shit. And he's tying up a federal court and all these plaintiffs with conspiracy wacko shit. So, you know what? I guess I'll say it about him too. Not only does David Wilcock need to quit conspiracy land wacko shit, Corey Good needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. It has to be done, friends. It really has to be done. I can't believe either of these two clowns are still going strong with the grift, but they are, right? Buy my comic book full of fake stories I claim are real about my Buck Rogers space adventures. Buy my book I claim is real with all my prophetic psychic predictions. And none of them come true. These two are both fake as shit. They deserve each other. And they're karmically linked now, right? Partners in slime, I used to call them. Partners in slime. Steve C says, I've been DMing with CG behind the scenes, and he totally believes he will win his cases. Well, that's a statement of Steve C. I don't know if that's factually accurate or not, but it is what it is. How? How can he win? Did you know, Steve C., that now that his lawyer has been named in another related lawsuit or countersuit, she may not be able to represent him anymore. So he may not be able to use that lawyer because she's being named in a lawsuit too, when it's a conflict of interest. Or so I've heard. I don't know if that's true. How's he going to win a lawsuit if a lot of people believe, or I've heard, it's rumors and speculation, I'll freely admit that lawyer that he has is filing all these lawsuits for him for free because she's a cult member of his. She's not actually being paid money out of that legal defense fund. At least so far, he hasn't proven that he's paying her money out of the legal defense fund that he's collecting money for. I don't understand having a legal defense fund when you're the plaintiff suing everyone. You're not the defendant. To me, that's misleading and maybe problematic from a legal perspective. But again, I'm no lawyer. But if she can't continue to represent him legally, that's going to be that may be a problem for him. He may have to. Oh, he has all the DMs. Oh, you got to share those eventually. Jolly Bridge Burner says, yes, that's true. Truthseekers, conflicts of interest and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I asked one friend of mine to look at that and tell me, and he said, well, it kind of depends on the judge. Some judges may allow that, and some judges may say, whoa, you can't. No, you can't do that. So I guess it depends, right? I guess it depends on many factors. But, I'm hopeful there'll be an end to that nightmare for the plaintiffs who, I don't know. How many people is he suing now? Is it 10, 11? I don't really know. Killboy is here. Killboy 2100 is here and says, good evening, Stephen, and good evening to you, and thanks for spending some of your evening with me. Yeah, so, I guess I said what I had to say tonight. I went really for an hour presentation and an hour with the live chat, which I think we're coming up on here. Johnny Bridgeturner says, yeah, down here that wouldn't fly, Stephen. Yeah, it depends on geography and I guess even whatever. There's different rules everywhere about what's acceptable or what's not. Lee Squatch says, few remote field viewing dildo motion should be interesting. My David Wilcock and a box of dildos challenge video is cited in a federal lawsuit as evidence. I'm going to say that again. I made a video called David Wilcock and a box of dildos, where we gave him this challenge, since he's psychic and has psychic powers, that we were going to bury a box of dildos somewhere in the world, and if he could find it, I would give him or his favorite charity $10,000. I made a video, right? It's a goof, but it's not a goof because I really did bury a box of dildos, and I really will give him $10,000 if he finds the box of dildos with his superpowers and his psychic powers and his prophet powers. He has yet to find the box of dildos. So that's the joke. He's some psychic. He can't even find a box of dildos I buried somewhere. I made a video about that, and someone cited that as evidence in a federal lawsuit. Right? So talk about conspiracy wacko shit. A video I made called David Wilcock and a Box of Dildos Challenge is now cited as evidence in a federal lawsuit. Tell me how that works. Matt R says, based on my psychic intuition, and I'm neither confirming or denying that Matt R has psychic superpowers, but this is what he's saying, and we accept that. He says, based on my psychic intuition, Corey Good really believes he has lost millions of dollars because people criticized him on the internet. He will just keep throwing out lawsuits that will all fail. Yes, because like a typical narcissist never accepts responsibilities for their own failures. They never apologize for anything they did wrong. They never accept any responsibility for their own wrongdoing. What they do is they blame other people for their failures. Stephen, my friend that I saw the shadow people with, says she will watch. I'd like you, Renee, Miss Jonaside, and Jonaside to come on the show this Friday night at 9 p.m. and share your stories. I would really appreciate that. We've already got Bee Gees. I would like to have a whole panel of you guys telling your stories. We could do it. Shadow People special report. Shadow People. I've done more reading into Shadow People, and it's just a great story. I really want to do that. Matt R, like CG really thought he would be the next big Hollywood property, except two guys with a few hundred YouTube followers said they don't like him. Yeah, we're responsible for destroying. No, according to Leon Isaac Kennedy, he shot himself in the foot. He didn't want to sign. He could have had a Hollywood contract, but he didn't want to sign because then he would have to share some of the money with his then manager, who he wanted to fire and cut out of the money after that guy helped make his career. Nice guy, right? Nikki Gray says, Stephen, you had me at your laugh. Love it. You know, people keep telling me that. And you know what's funny is when I was in school, I would try my best not to laugh because I thought I had an awkward, weird laugh. But maybe not. I try to laugh as much as possible. I have to laugh. Nikki Gray 7, you know what it is? I have to laugh while doing this show to keep myself from crying. You know, I was once respected in the world of show business in one form or another. And here I am covering this shit show. I was just talking to an old friend who said, if you had told me 20 years ago that you'd be in some cabin in the woods talking about aliens to people all over the world, I never would have believed it. And I said, me neither. But it's going pretty good. So we're just gonna keep rolling with this. Yeah, so friends, I guess we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here, and I gotta actually go to bed early tonight because I have to be awake in order to do an interview tomorrow morning. And I don't know where the book went. It's called Intimate Alien by David Halperin. We'll be interviewing its author at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, a rare early show. And plus, I'm trying to get the shows out of the way and then concentrate on hitting the ground running, doing something productive at this cabin this weekend. I can't have another weekend where not much gets done. Yeah. Terry Joy says, I was once respected in showbiz too. I could so relate. Yeah, I'm getting to be like Rodney Dangerfield. Like, I get no respect, you know. LL Blur, have you looked into any challengers? Yes, we have, and there's previous shows about people who channel aliens on our show. And you can find previous episodes right here in our channel link. We've covered people who claimed that they had psychic healing powers, did a full investigation into that. That's called The Strange Case of Sarah Adams. And then we looked into people who claim to channel aliens. And yeah, anything about the paranormal or mysterious, we're down to talk about, cover, or investigate here. So if you like that kind of content, please do stick around at LL Blur. I believe this is the first time I've seen you here. And if so, welcome. You are most welcome here in our merry band of misfits. You fit right in. I can already tell. Wanda Erker is here and says he is a coat rider. Not sure if you're referring maybe to Corey Good. Renee Jonas says, too damn early, but I've been up since 5:30. Yeah, you're like my wife. She gets up at the butt crack of dawn, and then she smacks me at noon. Are you still sleeping? Like she's angry that I'm still sleeping. These kids are driving me crazy. Get up. And I'm like, okay, honey, yeah. Genocide starts work around that time. Nikki Grace is mentioning that she watches Terry Joyce's channel. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap. It seems to me that a lot of you guys watch a certain set of show hosts, so we're always trying to be friendly to those show hosts, like Paranormal Hood, Jiggy, and Smoke King, and I guess Sylvia Channer, and Terry Joyce, and some others, and Daniel from The Context. You know, UAP says it's an awkward laugh, but it's real and honest, like your shows. Good, I appreciate that. I'm glad that people enjoy that. Loyal Star is here and says, glad you're feeling more positive. Truthseeker, great live tonight. Thanks. Great. Good to see you here, Loyal Star. I guess you're being loyal to our show and showing up in our live chat, which I love. So shout out to Loyal Star. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was in a funk, but I got to tell you, I think there's a talk that I heard some motivational speaker give about when you're not feeling great. You know, what you got to do is, you got to shower up, put on some nice clothes, cologne, the works, shine your shoes, make sure you're looking good at least. You can fake the feeling good while you're looking good for a little while you figure things out. Looking good and smelling good is half the battle sometimes, right? At least you did that much and you're showing up and trying to move this ball forward. Sorry, folks. That's what we have a cough button for. But you get the show, warts and all. Sometimes I forget to use the cough button and just, I got to quit smoking. I'm trying to go back to vaping, but we'll see how that works out. My wife says I have too many bad habits. One of them's got to go. At least one of them's got to go. I would tend to agree with her. Only 3 downvotes. Pathetic. I thought it was 4 before. Somebody took one off then. It was 4. We had 4, damn it. Let me look at it again. Now, yeah, there's only 3. Maybe my talk about downvotes affected some people. And they went, you know what? I don't want to downvote him because that'll help him. And they took it off. I'm sure it said 4 earlier. I am positive it said 4 earlier. Maybe somebody decided I don't suck. Jonaside. Maybe first they said, fuck this guy. He sucks. I'm downvoting this guy. And then they watched a portion of the show and decided I don't suck and said, you know what? He's doing okay. I'm gonna at least take away my downvote. Maybe I won't like the video, but I'll take away my downvote. But I think we got higher. Yeah, we got 44 upvotes today. And that reminds me, I'm going to remind everybody one last time, because every good YouTuber knows you got to remind people, like, comment, and share these videos. Please do. Subscribe if you're not already. Send us some friends to subscribe if you like this sort of material and content. We do it every show here. We would love to have a bigger bullhorn and more friends here in the live chat. All are welcome. And it's my hope that the show continues to grow. Every day, I like to say this, every day I come here, not every day, every show I come here and I water this garden For surely if I water this garden will grow. I need this garden to grow. I would like to have more time to dedicate to this, but that really would require a greater viewership, I guess. And, we're still working on things like commercials because YouTube has yet to turn our super chat donations on after 9 or 10 weeks now of us waiting for them to review us and turn the super chats off, right? Oh, now I'm up to 5 downloads. See? So some more people said I suck. Interesting, right? Definitely interesting, but more likes too. So it is what it is, friends. I will take either. You can like it or you can dislike it. Both ways help us. Yeah. So I'd really like the garden to grow so I could eat. I'd like to. Is that so much to ask? I made a joke. I clipped out. I just want to make minimum wage here. Right. And I really that would be the dream come true. If I could just, get up to minimum wage with the time that I spend and the work that I do here, that would be great. I don't need much, but I do need to eat. Yeah, Matt R says, Q critical videos get some traction on BitChute despite 80% being pro Q. Yeah, we're looking into that. I have yet to figure out BitChute. I just haven't stopped and taken the time. Wanda asks, what time do you want to have your show on? The show on Shadow People is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday night. This Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. Not sure where you are. Yeah, if you build it, they will come. Yeah, but I'm getting a little thirsty out here, sweating my ass off, Terry Joyce, trying to make this thing work. And you know a thing or two about that, so we could talk off air about that. And I am also, I got to figure out other ways to monetize things. So we may be like everybody else, selling shirts and mugs and hats and shit, whatever. I'm going to make Truthseekers Cheerios, but we can't call them Cheerios because I'll get sued. Right, Terry Joyce? So I'll just call them like Truthseekers O's. Find the truth in the middle, right? And you get a prize, like a Conspiracy Land prize in the box, or like a secret decoder. Yeah, we got to monetize this shit. Yeah, UAP says, hell with the truth haters. Let them eat fake. That is great. I'm stealing that. I am definitely stealing that. Oh, yeah, Jonaside says I want to sell sunglasses. Good idea. See, you're thinking, Jonaside, with branding. You, too, can buy these genuine Stephen Cambion eye covers, right? For $19.95. Hit up my PayPal. I will mail them out to you. And you, too, can look so cool like me. Don't put it past me. I know where to get sunglasses in wholesale in bulk for a bulk price. Don't ask me how I know that. It was from for a while I sold a lot of shit on eBay and I would buy stuff wholesale that I knew that I could turn a profit on. So I know where to get some, Jonaside. Oh, and we do have these we still have these prizes that I thought I was going to be handing out, like some rosary beads and stuff. Maybe we'll make a couple bucks. We'll have a Truthseekers garage sale, right? Alien Scientist is here. Can I get you anything, Jeremy? Like a fucking watch, maybe? We started at 9 p.m., right? That means Alien Scientist might be on drinky time, right? Yeah, Alien Scientist is another person that's kind of the same. A lot of the same people watch his channel as well, so it is what it is. AJ is here and says, thanks for the show, Stephen. Love the way you go to town on BS artists. Cheers, bro. Thank you, AJ. Good to hear. And you are most welcome here. Thanks for coming and chiming in and spending some time with us here in the live chat. But we are going to wrap things up right here, friends. Why? Because it's the right place to. Always weird finding a jumping off point. But tonight, we explored exactly why I believe in my heart of hearts that David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. Okay? He needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. It is what it is, friends. That's how I feel about it. Others may feel differently, and they're welcome to chime in here, and we'll have a discussion about how a man who has been collecting money for fake prophetic predictions and fake information in his fake ass books for 25 years should be allowed to continue in that, which I believe amounts to consumer fraud and a criminal act. How many times is he going to be allowed to profit from stupid people before somebody steps in and says, not so fast, Edgar Casey, not so fast, Mr. Prophet that talks to Jesus, right? Oh, I'm sorry, he channels Jesus. Not so fast, collecting those super chats, telling people that Donald Trump's going to win the presidential election by a landslide. And then he didn't give any of the money back when he was wrong about all that shit. How long is David Wilcock going to be allowed to continue to do this? His books are filled with fake stories from fake sources. His prophetic predictions all fail miserably. So, tonight I said what I had to say. David Wilcock needs to quit conspiracy wacko shit. I'm always happy when there's an audience, friends. And tonight, I'm so pleased that you could be here and be a part of mine. We're going to play out our usual bumper, but then I'm also going to play this wonderful song by an artist I just found by accident named David Wilcox, who has an amazing song that we played earlier tonight called Conspiracy Wacko Shit. So, again, friends, thanks everybody for joining us. We got a few new friends tonight that I haven't seen before, which always gets me excited because maybe they'll be back. Maybe they'll give us another opportunity to spend some time together. I'm working here. I'm really trying to earn a good audience. So thank you so much for being a part of mine tonight. Until next time, friends, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you. Even you, David Wilcock. And every day I pray that you, David Wilcock, will quit this conspiracy wacko shit. God bless you.
Sometimes what we need is a soulful song that can bring us all together, heal our hearts. But in times like these, we might need a song like this. I still want to learn to play piano. I could be practicing every day. I keep saying I'd love to start running. I'd be in shape if I had my way. But there were always aliens to think about, Illuminati and the puppet state. Chemtrails poisoning the populace. No use trying, it's much too late. Big crock conspiracy, wacko shit. Deadlock, truth I never will admit. It's only an excuse to quit. Conspiracy, wacko shit. My days hiding in the basement, isolated as I can get. I sink down deep into my wormhole, the dark side of the internet. I might have liked to drive across America, camping out in the old RV. I'm too scared of queuing on and on and on. They'll hack my brain with the new 5G. Big crock conspiracy, wacko shit. Deadlock, the truth I never will admit. Gives me an excuse to quit. Conspiracy, wacko shit. Fist clenched, strangling my iPad, apocalyptically entertained. I'm sweat drenched, paranoid, it's this bad, pure adrenaline in my veins. At least I finally see I have no choices, 'cause everyone's controlled by the deep state. Long as we believe in unseen forces, we never even try to change our fate. Big crock conspiracy, wacko shit. Deadlock, the truth I never will admit. It's only an excuse to quit. Conspiracy, wacko shit. It's only an excuse to quit. Conspiracy, wacko shit. Yeah. I feel better. I hope you do.
I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. Dump it. Charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop and blood on it, especially up to his ankles. Trump charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop. Goblin vomit and slop. I'm not expecting him to not get dirty slop. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin, 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 in bed with a goblin. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin.